Man, these hits, they just keep on coming, man. Well, after all the commotion of yesterday's injury to Aiden Hutchinson, I didn't want to have a major oversight here and miss or forget about another player, another Detroit Lion that suffered a major injury yesterday during the game versus the Cowboys. The Lions actually lost a pair of defensive tackles, or defensive linemen, excuse me, to injury in this dominant victory over the Dallas Cowboys. Now, according to the NFL Network, veteran defensive tackle Kyle Peko suffered a pectoral tear during an attempted tackle and will likely undergo season-ending procedure here shortly. It was reported that as the runner kind of broke away from Peko, while Peko was attempting to kind of secure the tackle and hang on, that the muscle just must have given way, and that usually happens due to the pressure of trying to hold on to the runner. Now, given the rapid decision, though, to rule out Peko during the game, and for the remainder of the game, I should say, there was concern right away to the severity of the injury, and that's why he was ruled out so quickly in the first quarter. Physical exam likely ensued, either behind the scenes or in the locker room, that revealed that signs of a significant injury were there, possibly, including visible deformity to the left pec, which could indicate a full pectoral tendon rupture, obviously requiring surgery and obviously shutting Peko down for the season. Now, Peko really impressed this season. He was doing great, man. He really impressed the Detroit Lions coaching staff. His consistency, his performance throughout training camp was spot on. He was somebody that I had making the 53-man roster, and he did in a roundabout way. He was actually initially cut during roster cutdowns, and the expectation is that he was going to be back, right? I'm sure there was that gentleman's deal behind the curtains that, hey, I understand what you got to do, but I'll be back. When you're a veteran like that, you can sign with whoever you want. You don't have to sign with anybody. Now, he was added to the practice squad pretty quickly, right, as soon as the Lions were able to. And then, as a veteran, he was then signed to the Detroit Lions roster from the team's practice squad, a move that was likely part of these gymnastics, as we call it, that Brad Holmes had to play in order to get guys back from IR, that Holmes wanted to tag with that 2-man IR rule. It's kind of a new rule this year where you can select 2 guys, before 53-man roster cut down, before the final day, you can select 2 guys that can come back. And then, anybody else that you put on IR is typically lost for the season, or, there's a whole bunch of hoops that you have to go through. It's kind of confusing, to be honest with you. So anyway, they didn't want to lose, any of the young talent that they had already brought in. And there was a lot of guys, going through injury. John Kaminsky was another, issue that they had to figure out. And of course, Broderick Martin that just popped up, right before cuts in that last game versus Pittsburgh. So there was a lot of things in front of Brad, and what he had to do to make it all happen, it all worked. But now, or shortly after that, Peko had replaced Chris Smith on the roster, and Smith was waived earlier that week, and then he was put back on the practice squad. So Peko was on his way to this roster one way or the other. There was also one other play that was kind of in mind here with Peko, and I'm not sure that this is even valid to bring up at this point, especially during this kind of a video, but for the video's sake, I guess I will. The move or to swap Peko and Smith in week 2 was reportedly a salary cap maneuver designed to keep Peko's veteran contract from being fully guaranteed. All vested vets who are on the week 1 active roster, our active 53-man roster, their deals are secured. By waiting a week, it saved the Lions, any long-term money that would have been due to Peko had he suffered an injury. And when I heard about this, and I looked into his deal, I couldn't imagine that the Lions were really tripping over $1 million here. I mean, now the player's injured and he's done for the season and he doesn't have that money, or at least that money is definitely needed for him, for his family, for whatever. And he doesn't have it now because his deal's not guaranteed. I'm sure there's some sort of an injury guarantee here or injury settlement that he'll get. I'm not privy to the details at this point. Maybe it'll come out later. But I hope that the Lions were not petty, over $1 million. I mean, these guys really deserve this money. I said earlier in the season that they have to get a minimum. Like, I think that these guys have to get a minimum of walk-away money no matter what. I think everybody should have some form of a guarantee in their deal, and it is what it is. Now, Peko ended up playing 37 snaps actually in that week 1 game versus the Rams. So I think that kind of told us that, being his first practice squad elevation, there was no secret here that the Lions really liked what Peko was doing. You're not going to bring this guy up and put him in for more than half the snaps against a really good offense if you didn't trust the player. So Peko was a hell of a player, man. He earned everything on this team and was a big part of this team. You don't hear his name a whole lot. He's not blowing up on the stat sheets, but he does the dirty work, and pretty consistent player. Now, in replacement duty for Peko and kind of for Aiden Hutchinson, the Lions had elevated Isaac Ukwu for the first time this season before this game here in Week 6. Now, after starting the 2024 season on the practice squad, Isaac Ukwu finally earned his first elevation here to go up against the Cowboys. Now, following Hutchinson's departure, Ukwu really held his own against this Dallas offensive line. He's a very talented defensive lineman. He was credited by the coaching staff, or credited the coaching staff for instilling confidence in him all throughout the week prior to Week 6 and giving him the opportunity. And here's what Dan Campbell had to say. He said, well, he's a young player, and that was his first taste of real NFL football. So I thought as the game went on, he got better, and it looked like it was his first NFL game. I think we know what that means. There's probably some things to clean up in there. That's just the truth, but I see a guy every day in practice. I see a Goody every day in practice. We got Muhammad here. I've known what he's been able to do for a while. And so, man, those guys are they're going to do what we ask them to do, and they're going to go all out to do it. And while they're doing it to continue to grow. And Ukwu will be better every week. So Dan Campbell has confidence. He has high confidence in these guys. And I think that's, to kind of end the video a little bit, I would say that, look, we're not in a huge rush. I don't think that Brad Holmes is in a huge rush. But now that we've lost two guys, again, Broderick can't get back fast enough at this point. I heard that, the timetable was going to be starting pretty quickly, and it may be moved up if he's good to go. Last week I said it was going to start very soon, within the next 3 weeks, and that's what we're hoping for. But the Lions are going to need some bottom end depth at a minimum. We need some guys that can fill in. So that's what's next. We don't know. We just don't know. But someone needs to figure out why the Lions are suffering so many damn pectoral injuries. I mean, this is like the fourth or fifth one. Just off the top of my head, we've got Emmanuel Mosley, Frank Ragnow, Isaac Ukwu, not Isaac Ukwu, Kyle Peko, CJ Gardner-Johnson last season. Who am I missing? I don't know, but it's too many. So I don't know if this is a strength, and conditioning issue, that they're not paying attention to the pecs. Are they not doing enough bench? Are they not doing enough resistance, pulling? Because that's how this injury is happening. It's from the pull. They're trying to pull these runners down. So they need more resistance, pulling, I guess. I do too, but that's beside the point. So anyway, look, Kyle Peko, man, super sorry that your season is now ended. You gave us your all, buddy, and maybe there's an opportunity you get to come back and play again for the Lions next season. But as we know, the way things go, new players drop in the funnel and some players drop out. But I believe that you're a guy that could be back, and would love to see you back, man. Never had anything negative to say about you. You always played hard. Always played hard. Every time I watched the tape, Kyle Peko was always in there, always mixing it up, and that's why he was one of my top dogs on the 53-man roster during this season here after training camp. So there you go. Lions actually lost 2 defensive tackles in this game, and I am just completely drained right now. I really am. Emotionally, the Cowboys win just took it all out of me anyway, because it was such a huge win. And yeah, tough, man. Tough way to end a weekend as a fan. Even tougher as a player, I can imagine. And shout out to Aiden. Glad he got through surgery okay. And hope to see you back, man. Hope to see you back soon. All right, that's it for Rockhound Detroit Lions. Appreciate you guys joining this video. Do us a favor on your way out. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We will be having a pop-up here very soon, because we are going to be giving away another mini helmet. We hit 6,000 subscribers. Let's push it to 7,000. Anybody that comes in that watches a video that hasn't subscribed, start smashing that subscribe button. You'll get a chance to win a mini helmet signed by Penei Sewell or Chris Spielman. See you guys.
Charge, ready for the fight. No more hearts and steadfast pride. Detroit spirit, we wear it white. Feel the drive, hear the crowds embrace. Rocked on, Detroit Lions will rise. With a heart full of dreams and the fire in our eyes. From the past to the future, we'll claim our own. we rise and unite, fueling the passion, igniting the light. Through highs and lows, we'll stand as one, our legacy a tale that's just begun. Together